All right, sports in the mix, and we're outside today. We're going to be talking with a particular movie producer, King J. Franklyn, the director of the movie Dinner. I'm pretty sure you know him from your TV screens. He likes to be on camera a lot. I likes to go for premieres a lot. So let's just introduce him. What's up, King? How you doing? We're doing great. So you're here today. You're definitely in your shorts and your, workout skits. You're definitely going to work out today, aren't you?
Most definitely, yeah. That's
where do you work out?
I work out here at K-Dove place. Is one of the best gyms you have around this axis, Omole axis, Berger and every other place. And quite honestly, not because it's just a stone throw from my house, but because they basically have everything I need. So it's convenient, it's well taken care of, they have good trainers, and so my workout routine is just convenient for me because I can get home hopefully by 6, 7 and still come out and do 2 hours of workout in the evening or in the mornings before I head out. Like today, I'm working out in the morning.
All right, fantastic. We're going to go through every single thing that you do in the gym very soon once we get through this. But one quick thing before I ask you any further questions. How often do you visit this place?
5 to 6 times in a week. Yeah.
I'm interested to know how you can manage your busy schedule and come here 5 to 6 times a week.
Well, you just have to create time for it. If you do not create the time, you're never going to have the time. So.
All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it quickly. All right, guys. So we're going into the gym. I'm going to find out what King J. Franklyn does every single day of the week, according to him, or 5 days a week. All right, guys. It's sports in the mix. We have been having lots of fun today, speaking with a very interesting movie director / producer / writer / everything. I'm pretty sure he acts movies as well. You act movies too, right?
I recently was featured in a new TV show that will be out soon, produced by Ola, the producer, and yeah, I did a workout pass role.
So definitely, you are everything in terms of movies.
Yeah, I try.
Sound guy too, right?
Not really. Not really. Yeah, I do sound design and sound edit, but it's not like that's what my focus is.
Now, we've been talking to him about, his workout paces, how does he keep himself fit and fresh to do his job on a daily basis. And we're also finding out his favorite sports. Apparently, he likes basketball. I'm going to tell us all about that right now on the show. So, let's start off with your paces. How do you keep yourself fit and in shape every single day?
The truth is, for you to stay fit, for you to stay efficient, for you to stay happy, for you to stay fulfilled, you must make out time. And like people complain all the time, like, oh, I don't have the time to go work out, I don't have the time to eat right, I don't have the time to do this, to spend more time with my family. And you're going to continue making excuses until you make out time for these things. There's never a perfect time for anything. You have to create the time. Do you understand? So I learned that a long time ago, and I told myself, you know what, I want to be that healthy, fit man who loves his family, good at his job, and have a lot of money. Do you understand? So how do you combine all that? You have to sacrifice. So maybe the time you're going to spend chilling with your buddies and having a beer or drinking Hennessy, you spend it working out. And then maybe once in a week or once in 2 weeks, you can do the hangout with the buddies, or find a way that you and your buddies go work out and then have drinks maybe later at one of your buddies' house. Do you understand? So I had to create my own timetable to enable me achieve that which I want to achieve. It's a tough process, but you have to make out that time. But once you get into that routine, it's like exercise. Once you get into the routine, it becomes easy. Do you understand? So I was able to, I started, after I quit playing basketball, not like I quit, but I didn't have the time to play basketball. I had a very busy schedule, and being and living in Lagos, it's I don't know, it's rush hour every time. Everybody's trying to get to one spot, trying to do something else. And I realized that, okay, I live in an environment that's serene enough for me to come out and walk or jog. So why don't I take advantage of that? So if I don't have the time to do the push-ups, the workouts, in the gym or in the house, I can just come out and run. So I run 1 hour, 30 minutes for at least 4 or 5 times in a week. And running is a creative process for me because that's when I get the time to actually think. If I'm going to write a story, if I'm going to make a project or make a movie, I get on that running mode because it helps me think, help me see the scene, see the dialogue, see everything properly. Some people, they need to walk to do that. Some people need to drive. Some people need to travel. Some people need to just sit in a bathtub. But my own creative process is running. Do you understand? So that's how I started. And then moving forward, I realized that that wasn't enough because I still have to work my body. You see the lots in traffic. You see the lots in the office. And you don't get enough time to work your muscles. And if you don't put your muscles to use, they become, I don't know, lazy. And I had to add this new routine of coming out to the gym to work out. And so that's been basically my routine. So I go to the gym at least 4 or 5 times every week. Sometimes I do 6 times in a week, and then my rest days are Sundays. And then I get the time to go to work. I work practically every day. Well, except Sundays these days, but sometimes I still work on Sundays, but it's not like it's heavy work. Mostly at home, just trying to put paperwork together or write something or do all that. But I work every day, and the beauty of my work is that I can work from anywhere. Do you understand? But I have my office in the other side of town. I'm a huge basketball fan. I love football as well. People will argue that I'm a better footballer than I am a basketballer, but the people who know me play basketball will say, oh, I'm a better basketballer than I am a footballer. But it just so happens I know how to play. And every sport I have done, I've always been the best at it. Not like I'm trying to brag or exaggerate. Like when I was swimming, I still swim. I can swim pro. Lawn tennis, table tennis, basketball, football, and even snooker. So I played a whole lot of sports growing up, and that gave me the opportunity to have that athletic mindset and sportsmanship attitude towards things and everything. So I enjoy basketball a whole lot, and I play basketball even till now. I try to find out time, even if it's once in a month. Just
What club do you? What team? Rather?
well, it's the NBA as it is. So GSW, Golden State Warriors.
I would say I'm not surprised.
Why won't you?
Everyone is supporting the Golden State.
Because, but you see, I like the underdog.
Are they underdogs at this point?
Well, they came from that position, and you have to keep supporting the underdog.
They've been dominant for like 5 years now.
Yeah, but they had this like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was not the first pick during the draft. People saw him like he was not going to make anything out of himself, but he had to build and build. It took him not 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years, and got to that point where they won the league consistently and consecutively for 3 seasons. He retired, came back, and they did it for another 3 seasons. Now that's what consistency and legendary is. You understand? And Steph Curry and the Warriors have been able to come from that position of, oh, who is this guy? From not being signed by the major basketball or sports gear to creating his own brand with Under Armour, having his Bible inscriptions on his shoes, and then building a team of young stars who are not the flashy LeBron James or the Dwayne Wades and the rest, but just building a team of young guys who just basically work with dedication and put in the work.
Right, so now let's get into your favorite player. Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, who would it be?
Durant is a great guy, but everybody loves Steph Curry. Yeah, I like Steph Curry for one reason. It's the same reason I love Michael Jordan, hard work. So in and off the court, he's working. He's practicing. He's shooting the threes. He's dribbling. He's making that free throw practice every other day. I like to compare myself to them because when I was still playing basketball, every day I go out to train, not with other people, but in the mornings I shoot at least 300 three-point shots, 200 perimeter shots, and 100 free throws.
Even till now?
Well, I don't do that anymore because I'm not planning to play pro. But I know, and it's going to happen that someday I'm going to be in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to win the MVP. But the thing was, I realized that daily practice helped me become a better player. So even at this point where I've stopped playing for well over a decade, active basketball, I get to a court and I can hit 3-point shots in a row, maybe 4-5, without any practice, because it's been ingrained in me from the practice and the continuous workouts I did. And that's one thing I respect Jordan and Steph Curry for. Steph Curry works. He puts in the work in and off the court.
All right, now let's get into someone else that is not actually Steph Curry, but is on the other side, the flip side of things. That is Kyrie Irving. Everyone has been talking about him ever since he said he wanted out of the Cavaliers. What do you think about him? And the trade that just announced on Tuesday, he's moving now to the Boston Celtics, somewhere he will be competing against LeBron James at the Western Conference. Do you think that it's a right move for him? And how do you think he's going to benefit from this move ultimately?
Well, he decided to leave for the Celtics, and I guess he has a reason. And I like people to actually achieve what they want to achieve based on the decisions they've made. And for Kylie, I think he wants to start his own team. He wants to do things at his own pace. He wants to do what he wants. And if he thinks the Celtics is a better team for him to achieve that, then fine, let him go do it. And people look at it like, oh, you can't just leave. Who do you have in that team? Well, they have other players in the team. And if he feels that that is the team that's going to help him win and become that player and leave that legacy he wants to leave while playing in the NBA, then who are we to judge him?
All right. Okay, so the Golden State Warriors, rather, and the Cavaliers. Who is going to be victorious? We know now that Isaiah Thomas has gone on to join them right there, LeBron James' team, with all of the stars that they already had last season. Do you think the Cavaliers can take back the crown from the Golden State Warriors?
It's going to be hard, though, but...
So, guys, we're with Franklyn here. King J. Franklyn. He's a movie director, producer, editor, everything. I'm not just going to keep going on and on because we might never finish the show if I keep doing lots of things that you're going to be doing this year. You know, you had lots of amazing movies and short films and series. First of all, give us your top 3 series, and then what movies and series you'll be expecting from you before the year runs out.
My top 3 movies or TV series I enjoy watching.
That you've done, top 3 series and movies that you've done, and then what should we be expecting from you before the year runs out?
Okay, I'll say the best film I've done thus far is called Dinner, which was my feature-length film, my first feature-length film. And the second would be a film I did for TV, a film for TV for Ebony Life called Disay Secrets. And then the third would be a short film titled Once that addresses religious intolerance and revolved around the crisis in Jos. I did it for Ford Foundation and Afrinoli. And what I'll be working on this year, I've been working, basically just doing the groundwork and building the foundation for the next set of projects I'm working on. I'm working on a TV show, actually 2 TV shows, because I just finished writing one for Afrinoli called Agro, and the other one is a personal one, and it revolves around the industry. It's going to be more or less like a dictionary, a workbook for the Nollywood industry. And then I'm working on 2 feature-length films. One is a co-production with a foreign company and production company in France, and the other one is just my company. And basically, those are the key things I'm working on. But I have other side projects like a web series and an Instagram series.
Yeah, you're working on?
Yeah, that's done writing, and all of it are just like tests and experiments, just trying to create content so that we try out new things and set new standards and create a new avenue for filmmakers to be able to explore what they have, because a whole lot of people think that, oh, you must have a budget of 20, 50, 10 million to make a film or create a project. You can create a project and build a followership with just your phone. Do you understand? So the reason I'm creating the Instagram series is just I want people to be able to see, especially young filmmakers who think that, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, that you can basically do what you want because you have the access to it. As long as you have a smartphone that can record, you have a laptop, or you can get a small DSLR camera and just get a decent sound, you can create a project. But the most important thing is, what story are you telling and who is your target audience?
All right. What about the Nollywood industry so far? What would you say has impressed you this year of all the movies that you've seen? And how do you think that we can get better in Nollywood?
This year has been an interesting year because last year I think was one of the best years of Nollywood thus far as cinema goes. Why I'm saying that is because they had lots of great films last year. You had CEO, you had 903 Days, you had Dinner, you had Wedding Party, you had Arbitration, you had so many well-made films. Do you understand? And they did pretty well in the box office. So that sort of opened a new chapter for the Nollywood and the cinema platform of distribution. And with that, a whole lot of people have jumped into the industry like, oh, if this film can make 50 million and this one can make 400 million and this one can make 20 million, that means I can make a film. Yeah, it has its pros and it has its cons, because the truth is that, yeah, it gives investors something to think about, like, okay, this is an industry that's thriving, so why don't we go invest in it? But then again, it also creates an avenue for those who are not supposed to be in the industry to say, okay, yeah, I'm looking for fame, I'm looking for quick money, let me just go do this. So it has its pros and its cons. So the people who get the right investments, who are actually filmmakers, they go and they make great films. While those who are looking for quick, like I tell people, the industry and this industry is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not a 100-meter dash, it's a marathon. Some people come in like, man, I'm just going to make one film and make 200 million and I'm a boss. It doesn't happen that way. You understand? You have to prepare 5 years, 10 years, and which is basically what I have been doing.
How do you think that we can improve the Nollywood industry?
To improve the industry, for me, it's a simple thing. As with Hollywood and every other industry, they have like a quality control system and they have like standards. So if you're making a film that's not meant for the cinema, you can take it to the next platform, TV. If the TV doesn't want it, you can take it to DVD and online platforms and all that. So you have platforms for different kind of content. Cinema projects are totally different, but like I said, people see it like a sprint and oh, it's a quick money maker. They make films that are supposed to be for TV or for DVDs and they bring it to the cinema. Now they might bring in some actors that are supposedly A-list actors, or I know the distributor and I know the cinema, the exhibition company, the exhibitor. Oh, okay, let me just put it for you in the cinema, and then they do that. And the audience, the cinema goers are very, 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 I don't know. It's like a seed that's about to spring out from the soil. Now, the number of cinema goers going to watch Nollywood film has surpassed that going to see Hollywood films. And it's just a trend that started from last year. And when you go to the cinema to go watch films and you tell them, see, this Nollywood film is great, they say, yeah, you people have come again. And meanwhile, you tell the producers that, man, we need to make more intelligent content. They tell you, no, the audience, they are shallow, it doesn't mean. So who's fooling who? The audience tells us that they don't watch our films because they are too shallow. The producers are telling the creators of the content that, oh, the audience, they are shallow. So that becomes a problem. Now the audience go there and they're seeing movies that are not up to standard, because mind you, they go to see Hollywood films a lot. They go to see the Avengers, they go to see the Dark Towers and the rest. So they want to see content that will actually keep them entertained. What's the essence of cinema? To go on a journey emotionally. Do you understand? Laugh, cry, wish somebody wins, wish somebody fails, and at the end of the day, come out feeling fulfilled, and most importantly, probably take a lesson. But the most important thing is for you to be entertained.
So the producers have to work better
and look at what kind of content they are creating. As with the trend right now, everybody's trying to make comedy, but comedy is not something that's easy to make. You don't force it. Everybody's making slapstick comedy and it's becoming ridiculous. Do you understand? Make the genre you have a strength for. And when you make it, as long, like I tell people, tell a good story, people will come. My film Dinner wasn't a comedy. It's a drama, it's a serious drama, but like I tell people, comedy comes from a dark place you make light of. And that was what Dinner did. It's a dark place with real life scenarios that you know that, man, if it's true life, it's gonna be over. But people laughed at it, and that's what comedy is supposed to be. So I tell people, tell better stories. Put in the work and the time in creating your content. Don't just rush it, because you can never rush creativity.
All right, King J. Franklyn. We're gonna let you take us through your paces right now in this gym house, and let's see how fit you keep yourself on a daily basis. Let's get into it.
de friamente. Sufre de friamente.